Hi there guys, ToonSquid here, welcome. And is this the best animation app on iPad? This is ToonSquid. So, ToonSquid is an animation app which I found on the App Store several months ago, and I've been playing around with it personally, as you can see with my two little animation doodles, which I've made, including the one you can see on the bottom left of your screen right now. That was indeed made with this app. And yeah, it's quite possibly my favorite animation app on iPad so far. Although, to be fair, I've only played around with two animation apps on iPad, the other one being Procreate Dreams. But between the two, I think I will say, I think I like ToonSquid a lot better, and I'll explain to you why in a second. So, going back out to our project view, as you can see right here on the top level, we have all of your different project thumbnails for your different animation projects, and it has this sort of nice clean dark background, very reminiscent of Procreate. And on the top right you have your import view folders, including this one over here, the plus button, which allows you to create a new empty project. Again, so as you can see, the interface itself is, I think it's quite inspired by Procreate. And if you're coming from Procreate, I should say, I think you'll feel quite right at home with this app. In fact, once we go back into a project view, you'll be able to see for yourself. So let's just dive right in to the project. So as you can see, I have my project over here, and again, it has a very similar sort of Procreate inspired UI. On the top left, you have like a project button. If you click on that, it just sort of automatically saves and goes back out to your, your library of projects. And again, on the top right, if you click on actions, you have your export, very similar to Procreate. And on the left side, you have all your different tools. You have transform, brushes, etc. On the right side, you have, for example, layers and settings. Again, similar to Procreate, you can find all those. And then where it's different, you have your timeline on the bottoms. So if you click on the arrow button on the bottom right of your screen, you'll expand into the timeline view, as you can see right here. So this is your timeline view, and I think this is where it differs from Procreate and Procreate Dreams, is that I think I prefer this timeline view a lot more to Procreate Dreams, for example, or even Adobe Animate. It's just a lot cleaner, it's a lot simpler, it's a lot easier to look at, it's a lot easier to navigate, and I think that's one great perk about this timeline view. I'll explain more in a second. So going to the canvas view, you can see this is your canvas, and it has sort of similar gestures to Procreate. Two fingers to zoom in, zoom out, and you can snap into the full screen view. So again, if you've played around with Procreate, you know these gestures. Now, going back to the timeline. So why exactly do I like this animation app so much more than Procreate Dreams or Adobe Animate? Again, so first thing, again, like I've mentioned, the timeline view is very clean. As you can see, you have huge keyframes, makes it very clear and easy to see. I think the timeline view in Procreate Dreams and Adobe is way too tiny, you can't see anything. And again, you can zoom in, zoom out very easily. And another thing that I find really amazing with this app is the layers. So if I were to go to my drawing layers on my pick one of these, as you can see on the right side of your screen, it's expanded all of my drawing layers. And what's really impressive about this app is the fact that each of these drawing layers can have their own separate keyframe animation. So that's absolutely crazy. That's really powerful. So for example, if I were to click around these separate drawing layers, you can see on the bottom of the bottom of the screen in the timeline view, you can see it changing around because each of these drawing layers have their own keyframe animation. So it's actually really powerful in that sense. So you can think about all the animations you can do for separate layers, and you can also have animation within animation, although I'm not sure if I have them. Oh, right here. So, for example, my ribbons over here, the folder itself has its own keyframe animation, but because I have two separate ribbons, they each have their own keyframe animation separately. So, again, so you can have animations inside of animations and stack them on top of each other. So that's really powerful. So you can see if I were to drag that around, both of them they're moving separately, independently, I should say. So you can actually have that as an option. So another thing that's really powerful about this app is, as you can see, if I were to play this animation, can you see the wings are sort of warping around? It's being warped, as well as the ribbons. It's also warping, bending. So again, I don't think many animation apps feature this ability, or at least some of it will have extensive limitations. But what makes this app so powerful is that you can do that not only on your separate drawing layer, but also, if I were to show you, let's go to our wing, as you can see right here. So I have the wing highlighted, and if you were to go into the settings, you can see the effects on the right side of the screen. And if you click on warp, right here, as you can see, you have your warp, the entire transform thingy. So now that you have your transform on view, and as you can see, if I were to drag my timeline around, you can see it being animated. And again, I don't think I've seen very many animation apps that actually let you warp the each drawing on separate layers. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but at least you can't do that in Procreate Dreams. And another thing you can also do, which is really powerful, is, for example, if I were to select my drawing layer, click on the brush button, and if I were to go in, and for example, if I were to doodle, just add a couple more feathers, for example, and then if I were to go back, as you can, where's my wing? If I were to go back, as you can see, if I drag around the timeline, it just works. So it means that what this means is you can actually doodle and make the animation, and then you can make changes on the fly. So that's really powerful. Another option is, for example, if I wanted to, I could probably swap this for a bat-like wing, bat-like wing, and or any other drawing for that matter, and it will just work. So you don't have to change everything. You can you can swap things like you're swapping symbols in Adobe Flash or Adobe Animate, as it's called right now. So this actually has that sort of Adobe Animate level of power, but it's on your iPad. That's very crazy. So yes, that sort of option. So that's another thing that's I really like about this app. So if you're someone who, for example, if you just want to make a lot of keyframe animations and you want to swap swap bodies, if you're doing a lot of that sort of thing, or just doodle and animate, you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to reanimate from scratch. So very powerful. Some of the other tools you have is, for example, your export. You can export into all different stuff: video, image sequence, Photoshop, as you can see. And if you want to if you want to export it and make a Telegram sticker, you can export it as a video, for example, and then select the transparency option right here, and then select the codec to ProRes 444. The other two won't work properly. I've tried that myself, so you can make Telegram stickers from here, so that's an option, and that's something I've been doing. What else that's really amazing about this app is, it accepts Photoshop exports. So if I were to go to my folder view, so I have a little animation which I've made in Procreate and export it into Photoshop. Just drag it over and then import that as a Photoshop file. It takes a few seconds because this file is quite large. But once it's done, you should be able to see all of your separate layers in there. So give it a couple more seconds. There we go. Now it's showed up. So I need to tidy this up, as you can see. But yeah, all of your layers are preserved. And again, you go in there, drag that out, and then, for example, make an animation. Not that difficult. So quite easy, I should say. So yeah, that's about it for Procreate Dreams. So, not Procreate Dreams, ToonSquid. If you like this app, you should check it out in the App Store. I'm not sponsored by the creators or anything. I believe it's $10 or £7 in the UK. It's not that expensive, I should say, and it's very you get quite huge bang for your buck. So check it out. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And if you like more reviews, definitely please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Goodbye, guys. See ya.